Welcome to a series of videos designed to help you get the most out of Final Draft. In this tutorial, we're using a Mac, but we'll show you the Windows menus if they're different. Our focus is on the Final Draft Inclusivity Analysis feature. Final Draft allows you to quickly see the ethnicity, gender, age, or any other definable trait of the characters in your script. Once you've written your script, you'll need to define the attributes of your characters. In the menu bar, choose Navigator, Characters to open the character window. All of the characters in your script will be present in the Navigator window. There are also several preloaded traits, including role, gender, ethnicity, orientation, disability, age, and occupation. You can also show statistical columns associated with your characters. You can define the attributes for each of your characters. We'll start with gender. In the gender column to the right of any character, type in the gender of that character. You can define the attributes any way you want, but be sure to be consistent to ensure accurate reporting. Once you've added an attribute type, you only need to type the beginning of the attribute. Final Draft will suggest the rest of the attribute. Simply hit Return to complete the word. Use this simple method to define the gender of each character you want to track. Continue to add definitions for other character traits on which you wish to report. It's fine to leave some characters blank. For example, you might not want to be restrictive about the age of some of your characters. You can add traits for any trait you want to track. You can also show or hide any trait by right-clicking the column header of a trait, then Show Hide Traits, and selecting the trait you want to either show or hide. You can also reorder the columns by dragging them to a new location. Once you've defined all the traits and attributes you wish to track, you can do extensive reporting about your characters. Below the Character Traits table, you'll see three inclusivity analysis charts: Characters, Dialogue, and Scenes. To enlarge the charts, drag the dividers between them. The Character chart reports on the demographics of your characters, the percentages of the types of characters in the script. The Dialogue chart indicates as a percentage how many lines of dialogue are spoken by the various types of characters in the script. The Scenes chart displays the percentage of scenes that contain characters that have specified attributes. To report on a single characteristic of a character, choose Trait, then select a trait from the drop-down menu. We'll use Age. Now you can see the ages you have defined for all of your characters. You can add a second dimension to your reporting by selecting an additional trait for analysis. We'll choose Gender. Now you can see that 15% of your characters in the script are in their 20s. 10% of the script's characters are both in their 20s and are female. 5% are both in their 20s and are male. Next, we'll look at the dialogue report. Start by choosing the trait on which you want to report. We'll choose Gender to see how the dialogue in our script is divided among genders. We can see that 52% of the dialogue is spoken by females, 44% by males, and 4% by characters who don't have a gender defined. If we make the second reported trait ethnicity, we learn that 32% of the dialogue is spoken by females who are Caucasian, 3% by females who are Indian, etc. Next, we'll examine how many scenes contain certain types of characters. To start, we'll select a single trait, Gender. The Scenes chart has additional options to allow more granular measurement by attributes rather than just traits. The Number field allows you to specify how many characters with a given attribute must be in a scene for it to count in your chart. If we input the number 2 and press Return, the chart shows what percentage of a script's scenes have 2 or more females. The center circle shows that 76% of the scenes in this script feature 2 or more females. The outer circle shows that 66% of the scenes in this script feature 2 or more speaking females. The outer circle shows that 11% of the scenes in this script feature 2 or more females, but fewer than 2 have dialogue in these scenes. Analyzing the script by this particular set of metrics can help determine whether or not the script might pass the Bechdel test. If we want to analyze the script in more detail, we can add a second attribute. We'd like to measure how many scenes include 2 females in lead roles. Select Role as the second trait. Select Lead as the second attribute. We can now see that 58% of the script's scenes meet our criteria. 53% meet the criteria for speaking female leads. By filtering the character traits table by lead and sorting by gender, it's easy to see which characters meet the criteria. If you'd like to analyze multiple scripts, for example all the episodes of a given show, you can use the Combine Files feature under Tools. If you want to display your character's analysis on your script's title page, simply take a screenshot of the charts, Command+Shift+4 on the Mac, and Alt+Print Screen on Windows. Save the screenshot to a convenient location, such as the desktop. Go to Document, Title Page. Navigate to the place where you want to add the graph. Go to Insert Image and follow the prompts, or simply drag the image to the title page. If you'd like to do further analysis, you can click on the CSV Export button in the upper left corner of the Character Navigator and export the character traits to a CSV file to analyze in any spreadsheet program. Now you know the basics of using the Inclusivity Analysis feature. If you have any comments or suggestions, we want to hear them. Just go to Help, Submit Feedback, and let us know what you think. If you need technical support, go to Help, Get Support for access to Final Draft resources, including email, chat, and phone services. To watch more helpful video tutorials, visit the Final Draft YouTube channel at youtube.com/FinalDraftInc. Final Draft, the industry standard screenwriting software.